Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, and it is time for some amino acid education. And I'm getting ready to go for a drive, so you have to be with me. And I hope that you can hear me on here. If you cannot hear me, just let me know so I know who I'm talking to. And I usually do this on my business page. But for some reason today, it would not let me get in there to do a Facebook Live. I don't know. Maybe they changed it. Hey, Cassidy. Hey, guys. Hey, Lori. But today I'm going to talk about energy. Anybody here love to have some more energy in their life? And a lot of times when we're looking for energy, we look for it through caffeine, through coffee or monster drinks or something like that. But you know what? There is what's called sustained energy, and it is energy that actually makes a huge difference. Good morning, Brenda. Hey, Christy. It is so let's talk about what I'm talking about so you guys understand. In your brain you have what's called neurotransmitters. They are your happy, calm, feel good chemicals in your brain. When they're firing right, you have energy, you feel calm, you feel relaxed, you're able to tolerate stress, you're able to handle the things that life throws at you. Yeah. Anyway, and it's also you're happy. When they become depleted, then anxiety, depression, worry, stress, lack of energy, lack of sleep, lack of drive, lack of enjoyment of life happens. Not to say that that's the only reason, but it's a really, really strong reason, and it happens to a lot of us. You see that you can either be born genetically that way, or 60% of us who are over 40 our neurotransmitters are depleted. 60%. So if you're over 40, just say yes in the comments and let me know that might be you. It could be because of overstress. It could be lifestyle. It could be the way you eat. A lot of these things can determine what happens to these neurotransmitters. But the one that is one of my favorite ones I like to talk about is energy, because you see, guys, that was the one that I found out that I was low in, and I didn't even know it. You know, I was out looking for answers for my daughter, who was, because she is clean now, which is totally amazing, an addict. An alcoholic and an addict addicted to meth. And meth is, people who are addicted to meth, it's a dopamine issue. So when I was looking for answers for her, I learned about the amino acids, and I've always loved sugar. Now, I didn't think that sugar was a bad thing, but I didn't realize that I was really addicted to it. Oh, yes, I did. I knew. I was a sugar addict. I was also addicted to Diet Coke because I like energy, and I just woke up in the morning and I was drained. I had no energy. It was hard for me to get going. Hard to focus. Oh my gosh. Focus is one of those things that I'm challenged with. I didn't realize that until, probably about 4 years ago, that how much I struggle with focus. I was taking my daughter to a counselor, and he was reading off the different symptoms of somebody who has ADD, ADHD, and I'm listening, I'm like, oh my gosh, that sounds like me. I think I have ADD. And I went home and I called my sister, and I'm like, I think I have ADD. And she's like, you think? Never thought about it. I see lots of squirrels. It's very, very easy for me to be distracted. I mean, one of the great things is I'm extremely flexible, so I can go in a lot of different places, but sometimes it's too many different places. So for me, at the time, they put me on Adderall. was taking 2 Adderall a day. I was still struggling. Hey, Leah, good to see you, girl. I was, I was struggling. So I drank a lot of Diet Coke, and I ate a lot of sugar. They talk about how you take sugar and it spikes your blood, and then it crashes, and then it spikes, and then the crash. Well, you know what? I don't know if I ever crashed, because I always had sugar with me. Always. I had it in my purse, I have it in my pocket, and that's what I went for. So as I went and was learning about the neurotransmitters, each one of them have their own specific craving. Serotonin usually crave things afternoon and evening. Dopamine is going to be something to give you stimulation. GABA is to help you relax. And your endorphins you're craving something for calm, or reward, numbing, or to feel love. So as I was learning this, what I realized is that, oh my gosh, my dopamine levels are depleted. The symptoms of low dopamine are craving for something, like I said, for stimulation, which would be like caffeine. It could be a Monster drink. It could be some other kind of energy drink. It could be meth. It could be cocaine. Those are the kind of things that you're going to be drawn to when your dopamine is low, or when you have ADHD. Because it's also, the symptoms are depression and apathy. Now, there's 2 kinds of depression. One is like the Eeyore depression, where you have this black cloud, and that's a serotonin level. The dopamine is going to be your apathy. Just don't care. Just hanging out, don't care about anything. And the other symptoms would be lack of energy, easily bored, lack of focus, lack of drive, and lack of concentration, ADD, ADHD. Those are the symptoms. So just think about yourself. What does it feel like when you wake up in the morning? Are you filled with energy? Are you ready for drive? Are you wanting to get going? Or are you just really just like, I can't hardly get out of bed until I have my cup of coffee? That's a sign. And the way I found out is when I was in the class, my instructor started talking about dopamine. And I'm like, and she had us rate it, from 0 to 10. 0 meaning you never feel this way, to 10, oh my gosh, I feel this way all the time. I think I was like at a 20. It was like 11 o'clock in the morning. I was tired. I was exhausted. I'm thinking, how am I going to make it through the rest of this class? It goes until 6 o'clock. The only thing I wanted was a Diet Coke, some Good and Plenty's, and to take a nap. That was it. And I kept thinking, I'm not going to get through this class. So she gave us some tyrosine, and she said, okay, I want you to take one of these, and in 20 minutes we're going to see how you feel. Well, in 20 minutes, she said, okay, now rate yourself. And I thought, okay, now I'm not quite where I should be. I think I'm at about like a 5. I could feel that there was something different. It was like, okay, is this a placebo effect, or is this like a real thing? And hey, Sherry, hey, Brent, it's good to see you guys. Tracy, good to see you on here. Kim, hi, Kim. Well, after 20 minutes, like I said, I was like at a 5, and I thought, okay, I'm not quite where I'm supposed to be. So she said, if you're not where you want to be, take another one. So I took one more, and 20 minutes later, I no longer was craving sugar or caffeine, and I had energy. And it's not the kind of energy where you're like zipping around like caffeine gives you. It was just sustained energy. I felt like I was awake. I felt like I was alive, because that's what tyrosine does. Tyrosine actually converts to dopamine. So what you're doing is you're actually feeding your brain what it needs. It needs the dopamine. It needs the tyrosine to feed your dopamine. And the other cool thing about it is that you're not going to have to be on it forever. Once you can get your own brain firing, you can taper off of them. They're not meant to be on it forever. You can, but they're not meant to. And they work really quickly. So while your brain is being fed, you also start to feel better. And that's really thing about it. Now, the funny story is, I felt great, and I thought, this is awesome. So I took it home to my daughter, who at the time could hardly get out of bed. She was on so many meds because she was trying so hard to stay away from drugs and alcohol that she couldn't even hardly get out of bed. And I said, okay, now I want you to take, I had 2 of them, and I said, okay, take one in the morning and one in the afternoon and let me know how you feel. I came home that evening and I said, okay, how'd you feel? And she's like, I felt jittery. Well, if you take too much tyrosine, that's the opposite effect. So the positive is you're going to feel sustained energy. The opposite, the negative is going to be that you feel jittery, just like you would if you were, taking a whole bunch of caffeine. So that's a negative effect. Whoops. So I gave her some, and I said, hey, take them and tell me how you feel. And like I said, she said she felt jittery. So I was kind of discouraged because I thought, I only have one chance to get this right. We tried so many different things for her, and I was so afraid that this was not going to be the answer, and then I didn't know what I was going to turn to. Well, the next morning she got up and she's like, hey, Mom, can I have some more of that energy pills? And I said, well, you told me they made you jittery. Well, she said, Mom, that's because I took 2 of them at the same time with 3 cups of coffee. And it just made me chuckle because I'm like, all right, if one thing's good, then more is better. Sometimes in an addict's world. But it's amazing. So this is the one that I take all the time. I take it 2 to 3 times a day. If you do take it, you want to stop by 3 o'clock in the afternoon because then you might not be able to sleep. But it's amazing. Now, I have one that's called L-Tyrosine Energy Booster. It's super cool. It's amazing. It works. And they're made out of America Fork. So they're made locally. They are vegan, non-GMO, gluten-free, and 100% natural. And the really cool thing about amino acids, guys, is they're not expensive. For a whole bottle of 120, it's $24.99 for a whole bottle. I have people who are giving them to their children who have a hard time focusing with ADD, ADHD. I take them, and like I said, it's helped me with my ADD, ADHD. I still have the Adderall. I don't need to take as much as I used to. And to me, that's a win. So, I hope you've learned something today. If you're looking for some sustained energy, getting some breathing in your brain with the tyrosine is going to make a difference. There's other things. Exercise also helps. Getting outside, moving your body, those things are help. But really to sustain it is to take what your body needs, and that's to feed it. Feed your brain what it needs. Instead of feeding it the caffeine, feed it the tyrosine. So until Saturday, I'm having a special sale. It's a buy one, get one, half off. Go to my website, hypnoaminos.com, and you could order them. Put in the code FB Energy. So Facebook Energy, but FB. FB Energy. Get you some tyrosine. Learn about the amino acids. Learn how to feed your brain naturally. And feel a difference quickly. I know, Kim. I know you love it, Kim. Thanks, Kim, for sharing that. Yes, tyrosine and GABA are the best. They really are. So thanks, guys, for getting on here. I hope you make it a fabulous Thursday. It's a beautiful day. Keep smiling. Love you guys. See ya. Bye.